First thought today. Pace is the trick. Pace has always been the trick. When it comes to doing anything great, it's always a marathon. It's always a slog. It's always effort spread out over a long period of time. With that being said, let's take the shirt off, because that's what we like to track the progress of. Excuse me. Weighed in this morning at 184.4. Second time I've been 184 in 3 weeks. Yeah. I would say that the next milestone will be hitting 180. And then after 180, it'll be 175. And if I play my cards correctly, did I say 185? I mean 175. I feel like my brain is not working at its fullest capacity. I feel tired. I feel like I could be running on more energy than I currently have. Excuse me for 1 second. I'm feeling a lot of things. As each day gets, the sun goes down, it's like the circadian rhythm. I have energy throughout the day in daylight hours, and then it comes to around like 6 o'clock and all of a sudden it feels like I'm dragging my feet. I guess it could be because of the deficit. I don't know. It probably is. Let me share with you my macros. I didn't provide an update yesterday, so I'll just do that real quick. Yesterday, February 2nd, I hit 1,703 calories. So I did 15 burpees, 172 grams of protein, 149 grams of carbs. Really good stuff. I ate a lot, all within that budget of 1,703. Kiwi, banana, chicken breast, coffee, electrolyte packet, AG1, calcium supplement, oatmeal, peanut butter powder, spinach, one of those protein Pop-Tarts, 2 prunes, 4 dates, sweet potatoes, and 1 Hershey's Kiss. That was yesterday. Let's hop over to today. 1,705 calories, which means I have to do 25 burpees basically right after I finish recording this. 5 burpees per calorie over 1,700. Salmon, sweet potato, AG1, 2 scoops of whey protein, 1 calcium tablet, 1 PB2 powdered peanut butter, coffee, bananas, oatmeal, and 1 date. Oh man, I didn't eat that date. Fuck. Well, I guess I don't have to do burpees now. I did not eat that date. Okay, well, there you go. Cool. And my favorite part was eating a whole pint of Halo Top ice cream. That was like my dinner / dessert. And it was just as good as I thought it would be. So basically what I did is I made it like it was Cold Stone. I purchased a Halo Top ice cream from Whole Foods. It was peanut butter cup style. Took it, put it in a big bowl, and put 2 tablespoons of PB Fit, the powdered peanut butter, on top of the peanut butter cup Halo Top ice cream. And protein ice cream for those who don't know. And I took 2 spoons and I just mashed it up. I just like mixed the peanut butter powder into the peanut butter cup ice cream, and it changed the texture. I've talked about it before, and it was just it was all the things that you want out of an experience. Just delightful. Just a delightful experience. It was a lot like Cold Stone. So if you've ever had Cold Stone, that's what the consistency and texture tasted like, and it was a fantastic experience. All in all, I think it came out to 400 calories, maybe a bit more. 400 calories. It was 330 for the Halo Top ice cream, and then 120 for the PB2, because I did 2 servings of that, or the powdered peanut butter. So 330 plus 120 equals 450. 450? I'm terrible at math. I always have been. I think 450. Yeah, 450. So yeah, 450 calories, and how many 12 grams of protein from the PB2, and 18 grams of protein from the Halo Top. So not a bad way to have a dessert. Pretty damn good. Last night before I went to sleep, I was studying, just out of curiosity. I was studying my calories that I had been tracking in the year of 2021, when I was preparing for my first time getting shredded in preparation for a movie role where I had to appear shirtless. And I was really amazed and impressed and surprised at how similar my calories were and how similar my macros were. However, I was eating rather different things. For example, I looked at one day, I think it was like September 2nd of 2021, and I only had eaten 5 things that day, but it still came out to 1,703 calories. And the 5 things that I ate were chicken breast, 50 grams of almonds, potatoes, 2 Greek yogurts, and black beans. 5 items of food for that day, and I ended up hitting my 1,703 calories, and my macros were extremely similar to what I consumed today. Like I said, my macros today were 146 grams of protein and 150 grams of carbs. I took a screenshot of that September 2nd date. Hold on. Screenshot of my September 2nd. Oh, September 9th, I'm sorry. And the protein for that day was 152 and 137 grams of carbs. So instead of getting out into the weeds of all this technical shit, I think it was just rather fascinating to discover, like, 2 years ago, back before I was as educated as I am now when it comes to how many macros I should get, and different types of things that I can eat in order to hit my protein level and shit like that. I wasn't using protein powder. I wasn't doing AG1 greens for greens. I was just doing the simple shit. 5 food items that day, and I was still more or less hitting my macros. Granted, it wasn't 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, but that's kind of like a general rule of thumb anyway, and it's not one that necessarily has to be adhered to. It's more of a thing to shoot for. Like, if you're in the process of cutting weight, or in the process of wanting to bulk and put on muscle, that whole 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight is a good benchmark. It's a good staple to keep in mind as you're pursuing your nutrition, your nutrition goals. But it's not something necessarily that has to, you don't have to stick with it every day. And instead, just focus on getting more protein in your diet. And, long story short, you probably are. If you're eating a well-balanced diet each day, then you're probably getting as much protein as you need in order to stimulate muscle growth. Which kind of makes me think, man, how did all this happen? And now I'm a fan of protein shakes and protein powder and whey protein, and I'm actually so much more conscious. I guess that's the fascinating thing, is I'm so much more conscious of strategizing what I'm eating each day than I was 2 years ago. And there's essentially no difference between the calorie deficit that I was in 2021 and the calorie deficit I'm currently in, which would suggest that I should experience pretty much the same results in the same amount of time. Life will be a lot different after I've hit my 5% goal and I get to undo everything, and not undo, not undo, but I get to go in the opposite direction and start putting on muscle, putting on weight. That's going to be a very interesting time in my life because it will be the first time that I have pursued a bulk while having the knowledge of nutrition at the forefront of my mind. So that will be a very interesting time in my life, and we're probably 6 weeks away tops, 4 weeks away at minimum. If I'm 184 now, I don't know. I would imagine that by the time I get to 175, if I execute this correctly, I should be at 5% body fat. So that's 9 pounds. 9 pounds in 4 weeks, completely doable. Completely. I've really been doing a good job. I'm focused. And honestly, the only thing I keep thinking about is after this is done, I get to double my calories. Right now I'm in a 1,700 calorie deficit, and weeks from now I will get to be in like a 3,500 calorie surplus. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Granted, don't get me wrong, 3,500 calories ain't shit to me. I can eat like 6,000 if I wanted to. But we're going to start off with 3,500 because I still want to remain as lean and as shredded as possible while building muscles specifically in my legs to create a better proportion all around. But 3,500 calories is better than 1,700. I think anyone will agree to that if you're into eating and all that stuff. And just think, like, when I look at my menu or my meal plan or the diet that I ate, let's say today, just multiplying all of that by 2, like, that's the concept of being in a surplus. It's kind of exciting. Maybe it's just me. I geek out about this shit. Another thing that I think about is the concept of, I feel like this is the only thing I'm succeeding at right now. This level of discipline, applied to the focus and the goal of hitting my 5% feels like the only thing I'm doing a good job at this current point in time. Everything else, I just feel like I'm adequate at. My job, my business, my marketing, my networking, all of it feels like a secondary task in relation to getting shredded, being disciplined with my nutrition, going to the gym. And I don't feel great about it. I don't feel great about that understanding. It's probably going to stay like that. I also consider the fact as I continue to lose more fat and maintain my deficit. I've been on a deficit for 19 days straight now, which means every single day for 20 days straight now. Every single day for the past 20 days, I have been coming in below my calorie maintenance, specifically at about 600 calories less than my body is supposed to be eating. So in some sense, it makes sense that this is the only thing that I'm able to focus on. And it's only going to get worse, most likely, as I continue to drop weight and I continue to lose that fat. My energy is going to get worse, it's going to get lower, and my levels of performance is going to suffer. And all I can hope is that it's just temporary, that it doesn't take as long as it potentially could. And by the time it's over, I will have known what 5% looks like on my body. I'm sure it'll look cool. It'll be a temporary pit stop, because I know what I have to do in life outside of just getting super shredded, and that involves higher levels of energy, more focus on other things besides being on a deficit. So this is a transitional year. I've always known that. I've always understood that. We're in the second month of it. By the time this month is over, I will be this close to hitting the first goal of the year. And then I suppose that'll be the opportunity to focus on the other ones. Try not to be too hard on myself. Ain't nothing to it. Alright, well, my girl's coming over to get some help with some stuff. Self-tape. So I'm going to cut this. 5%, here we come. 184, this is it. I am focused. I am focused.